Welcome to the Sunday Night Talk, the show where we answer the questions: were the games we watched on Sunday the greatest part of our day? A distraction from our family? Or a way to relive our childhoods? Have you ever thought, why don't they play football like they used to? Can you remember waiting all week just to watch one matchup? Do you remember rushing home to watch SportsCenter? Do you even remember what SportsCenter is? If you can answer yes to those questions, this is the show for you. I am your host, Patrick Ramirez, and along with me is my longtime friend, Omar Carmona. Each week, we watch as many games as we can to see what made us laugh, cry, and genuinely drove us absolutely crazy. And we do that by giving out weekly awards. If you have award winners yourself, you can drop a comment under the video. Thank you so much for listening, and please hit the subscribe button and share with a friend. It's how our little show grows. And if you like what you see, please take a look at my other shows on the channel. There's stand-up comedy, the movie series, and my one-on-one interviews. Now, on to the Sunday Night Talk. Welcome back, everybody. It's 10:41 Central Time. It is time for the Sunday Night Talk. Just wrapped up. Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Steelers are in. Baltimore Ravens are out. There's a lot to discuss about this game alone and this week alone. But first off, welcome to the Sunday Night Talk, everybody. If you're new, welcome, because we have a lot of new listeners. If you're back, welcome. Omar Carmona, my co-host, is here. Me, Patrick Ramirez. Omar, playoffs are set. And I'm going to make a note to myself next year. Don't ever write a headline until the fourth quarter's over of the game you're currently watching. Because, wow, was this a great game in the second half? And now we have our playoff teams.
It's like a boring, low-scoring game. You know, a typical Ravens, Steelers, I think, end-of-the-year showdown. And we were thinking maybe a defensive struggle because the offenses were not doing much of anything. Next thing you know, they're putting up points left and right. Pittsburgh obviously benefited. Although, they got a surprising Chris Boswell missing an extra point. But nonetheless, Pittsburgh's moving on because of a missed field goal. That is just crazy. What a heartbreaking way to end the season if you're Baltimore.
Yeah, my headlines basically at halftime that I was writing down that I thought I would open the show with were, one of them was, what kind of game do we expect from two 8-8 essentially teams to decide the division? Oh yeah, low scoring, defensive, mistakes all over the place. And then I had to rip that page up for the second half and write Aaron Rodgers straight up dealing, Lamar Jackson looking like the Lamar that we all know and love, MVP Lamar. And then, like you said, it ends on we got a missed extra point, we got a missed field goal. But go back to that, we had a defensive lapse from Pittsburgh and Zay Flowers scoring that touchdown. We had a slip by the Baltimore defensive back. And how
about John Harbaugh maybe just mismanaging some time and some timeouts? You know, I don't know. I don't think it's his finest moment.
I have the last drive written down that we can discuss, but all my emotions, like, I'm excited, I'm a little sick to my stomach, I'm in awe, and ultimately I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we can have teams play a certain way for one half and then just absolutely flip it. And we saw some vintage Rodgers not only dealing the ball all over the field, but commanding the offense. His helmet audio is going out, so he's running to the sidelines. He's switching helmets. He's trying to catch the Baltimore defenders in a switch. It was unbelievable, and I'm glad not only for the fact that we got to see great football, but I'm also glad for Chris Collinsworth, who was really angry at Aaron Rodgers in the first half, and he redeemed himself here. So I'll start with this, Omar. The right team win. Your audio's off.
Sorry.
Okay, you're back.
Pittsburgh won. Bottom line. Who cares?
Yeah, I think it's one of those games.
It's
whoever won deserved to win. If Baltimore makes that field goal and wins the game and walks off, then I have to say yeah, Pittsburgh, you can't miss an extra point. You deserve to lose. But at the same time, Baltimore, you have to make a very reasonable field goal, 44-yarder.
There. The
So
winner of this game, the winner of this game hosts the Houston Texans, who may be carrying the best defense in the league into the playoffs.
yeah,
So
we're going to
I
talk all the playoff matchups. I have them all written down. But let me go through Pittsburgh's last drive and then Baltimore's last drive. We got all right, Pittsburgh's last drive. They get the ball with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left from the 35. They're down 4. First down, pass, 17-yard gain. Gets us to the 2-minute warning. A couple plays go by. It's third down. TD pass to Austin. And then we have the missed extra point, which the kicker looked absolutely sick to his stomach.
right.
On the sideline there.
I felt for the guy, Pat. I felt for the
I
guy.
felt too, and I'm just like looking at the guy, and he's like, I lost the game for my team. My team battled. The defense was unbelievable in the second half by Pittsburgh. They really flipped the game when they needed it, and the kicker's like, I lost the game. Not only did I lost the season for my team. And now Pittsburgh kicks off. Baltimore gets a pretty good return all the way to the 47-yard line. And I think Tirico said it. He was like, they're a first down away from a game-winning attempt. We got a first down pass. Then we get the legal formation by the offense, which has been head scratcher and a bit of a drive killer all season long for these legal formations. I don't think anybody's really fully figured out, and we're 18 games in. And then we get to 4th and 7. And Lamar has the pass down the middle to Likely, down to the 25-yard line. And then that sets up the 44-yard kick. Ironically, Lamar, the play before, snaps the ball and takes the knee to get it into the center of the field. Right. And the kick actually goes wide right. I don't know if it would have been enough to have it go in, but wow, right when I was going to say, this is our Sunday night, end of the year, end of the regular season game, week 18 game. And now I'm like, that might have been the best game of the day. That might have been the best game of the month. It was amazing.
It was a great way to end. So I think we were treated to, I thought my Niners team didn't have a great game. So at least we got one primetime game that lived up to the billing.
We're going to get to your team. Don't you worry. So Pittsburgh is going to go into the playoffs. And now I'm excited because that's the Pittsburgh I like to see compete. Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers stuff. TJ Watt doing TJ Watt stuff. Mike Tomlin looking sinister and mad and planning things on the sidelines. I couldn't get enough, but I have a feeling that first half Pittsburgh Steelers team is someone that's probably going to show their ugly head again in the playoffs there. I couldn't get over how mad Chris Collinsworth was at that missed throw by Aaron Rodgers. He's like, you got the home run play, and he misses it. That's unbelievable. Yeah. And Rodgers was bad in that first half.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. But look, I think honestly, Patrick, it's an NFC North basically. It's the division championship on the line. Again, I just don't see either of these teams had even Baltimore had advanced. I think they're definitely a one and done in the playoffs.
All right, we'll get to the playoffs. Don't you worry, Omar. We're going to talk some extensive playoffs. It's going to go in weird places too. Any worries when you saw Baltimore go up 10-0 in the first quarter? Were you like, it's one of these? Were you like me? Did you see this game flip? Or were you like, oh, I'm ready for this game to change any second now?
Yeah, it could have changed at any second. And you're not gonna, Pittsburgh's at home, and those fans get loud, those fans get crazy, but they got back into the game. Aaron was then, went in the shootout, and Aaron made some big throws.
I got nervous when the Steelers decided to go for it on that 4th and goal, or that end of the half. There's 2 seconds left. They got it on the 1. They can either kick the field goal or go for it. They go for it and they don't get it. I was like, oh no, that's it. That's going to kill the momentum, because I think too many teams go for it on 4th down early in the game when it's not necessary. So Rodgers had the bad throw. Then he has the really unusual run where he's running to the first down. He stops and then he gets sacked about a yard short where Collinsworth is like, he usually gets that. So I was like, oh no, bad Rodgers. But it flipped. It totally flipped. And depending on who Pittsburgh plays next week, which I think is Houston, I would not take them lightly. If I saw this team flip like they did today, you better show up prepared because you don't want to get an Aaron Rodgers snake bite from a game that you have in the bag potentially. Like, oh great, we're up 4 with 5 minutes left. Okay, shoot, wait a second, somebody slipped. Aaron Rodgers threw a touchdown pass. I don't want that team to be the one that ruins my season. All right, more thoughts on this game, or should we run through our slate of games?
No more thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I think we covered it. Really fun Sunday night to cap off the season overall. Okay, so we got our playoff teams, and we can run through these teams as we go through the games too. So our playoff teams are, and I'm just going to go through them, and you tell me if they have a deep run in them, have a Super Bowl run in them, are going to be disappointing, are going to be one and done, or grab bag. You can label them whatever you want. So, All right, let's start with our number 1 seeds, Denver Broncos.
I not much faith. I think they are going to. I haven't done the brackets yet to see which seats are going to be available, but if
I have them all here for you, we'll get to them.
I have.
Just give me a gut reaction. So not a lot of faith in Denver, even though you have a Denver hat on.
They will lose. They will lose to the. They would lose to the Patriots. They would lose to the Bills. They would lose to the Texans.
Okay, so you're going with not a lot of faith.
Not a whole lot of faith.
Okay. All right, Seattle Seahawks. Gut
They're
reaction.
going to be very tough. They're going to be very tough to beat. I think I'm looking at them and I think I'm seeing the NFC, that defense. I think I'm seeing the NFC champion.
Well, why don't I do this before we keep going into the teams? I have the playoff schedule, so why don't we go through the schedule?
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so Saturday early game. You know, the Saturday early game is always somewhat of a snoozer. And it's usually AFC teams, but not this year. This Saturday early game is Los Angeles Rams at Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers backed into the playoffs. Rams finally looked pretty good today against the Cardinals. So, Rams and Cardinals.
You mean Rams and Panthers?
Sorry, Rams at Panthers. Yes.
Matt Stafford will get the Rams safely with the win. I think it'll be close for maybe the first half. Panthers are going to fight hard, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the Rams.
Saturday late game. Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, wow. I think this is actually going to be a surprisingly good game. It's going to be close. It's a rivalry game. I'm going to take the Bears in a close game.
Okay. Sunday. Now we're into the Sunday slate of games. Early game. Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow, if you had told anybody in like week 2 of the season, Buffalo Bills are going on the road in the playoffs week 1 to Jacksonville, I don't think anybody would have believed you. But yet here we are.
Josh Allen is going to seize the opportunity. I'm going to take the Bills over the Jaguars on the road.
Okay. So far, no surprises. All right, now let's go Sunday late game. Your San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. You called it, what was it, yesterday or a week ago? You're like, San Francisco has to go to Philly. You did not like it. Have your feelings changed?
No, the San Francisco 49ers, they made it to a place that, given all their injuries, they probably didn't belong to go this far. I'm sorry. It didn't make sense for them to go this far. So many injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Niners are not gonna stop the Philadelphia offense. I could see Saquon Barkley having a big day running the football, and
Mm.
I'm gonna take the Eagles to win that game. But hey, look, I think
Wow,
if
you're
they
gonna bet against your own team in the wild card
well,
round?
I'm
I
not
never
betting.
understand your.
I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna bet against them. I'm just saying, uh, they for what they had, Pat, they did a really good job.
Wow, you're already counting them as a loss. You're such an unusual fan. I thought you want to talk about that game, San Francisco game, while we have it on the brain here. San Francisco, and I already forgot who they played. It seems like a million years ago. Seattle. Saturday night. I already told you I blame the uniforms. You can't just make your uniform black whenever you want to. Yeah, San Francisco's so banged up on defense, and yet they seem to lose another two players every single game as well. I thought, I mean, the final was 13-3, and it could have been way worse.
Yeah,
They missed two field goals, Seattle did. And the only point San Francisco got was a field goal off a kickoff out of bounds, which gave them
right.
the ball. So the kicker for Seattle is the only one that kept San Francisco in this game. Every time they had a promising drive, something stopped it. They had that weird pass to McCaffrey. They got tipped and intercepted, was their best drive. They just couldn't convert. And on the flip side, Seattle kept converting third downs. They kept getting them to third down, and Seattle would just like have the right play at the right time. And then Purdy gets smashed up at the very end of the game.
That interception at the end, that was the 49ers' best drive of the night.
Yeah.
It was really the only drive where they seemed to have some great rhythm. Obviously, though, it seemed the ball was deflected, and it kind of changed McCaffrey's, the way he was going to handle that catch.
Hmm.
But when it turned him around, it just kind of seemed like he kind of lost a little sight of the ball and kind of just
Yeah.
just bounced out of his, out of his arms, off his arms. And but it's a tough road. But again, we nothing to be ashamed of. They played well. I just don't winning on the road this with no defense, Pat. I'm just saying it's a lack of defense. They just can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
Um,
The 13, you could say, like, well, they held Seattle to
oh,
13,
but
but
they
it
were
could have
like
been way
the
worse.
first quarter could have very well have been 17-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah. And Seattle went for it on fourth and goal on the very first drive, didn't get it.
Yeah,
So it could have been 26-0 very
yeah,
easily.
easily.
On the Yeah, the McCaffrey pass was the best drive they had. The ball could have bounced 10 different ways. McCaffrey could have caught that, spun, scored a touchdown. It could have been an incomplete pass. The ball bounces into the Seattle defender's hands, essentially, and he just holds it and it's interception. So that killed not only the drive, but just the momentum of it. Just the attitude of it. I was like, oh God, it was like a boxing match where one fighter is lost every single round, and then all of a sudden that fighter gets the other guy against the ropes, and you're like, whoa, here we go. And then the guy gets out of the ropes with one big gut punch. You're like, that was it. That was the chance. That was
Right.
the chance. San Francisco had a couple stops of Seattle where they had to punt. They just didn't do anything with it when they really, really needed it. No Pearsall as well on the offensive side. That really hurt as well. There was no deep threat.
Right.
I'm going to try and talk you off the San Francisco ledge for just a second. Seattle, Chicago, pretty amazing offenses. Philly, a team that went a whole half without getting a pass a couple weeks ago.
All
I
right.
think
Well,
San
that's
Francisco
yeah.
can compete way better than they can against Seattle and the Bears against Philly. They're going on the road, which is going to be really tough. But I think they can compete against Philly on the defense better than the other two. My fear is if they get down early and it just
Right.
becomes too much of a mountain to climb. So our playmakers, our Purdy's, our Kittles, somebody on the defense, they just need to have an amazing game. Someone's going to have to play out of their skin to flip this momentum. But I'm with you. It's going to be an uphill battle, but I'm way more on the side of San Francisco than I am on Philly, though. Philly has shown us nothing all year. Well, they do every year, but I think San Francisco just took two hellacious body shots the last 2 weeks, and they got to say like, all right, well, we don't at least don't have to play Seattle again. So
Right.
I'm ready for a pretty good game from San Francisco.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope so, Pat.
They just have too good of coaches to not come up with some sort of viable scheme. Now, again, if we have another injury in the first half, all the air is let out of the balloon. Something like that. It's gonna be hard. They have to have not only a perfect game, but just nobody get injured. And if they had gotten that bye, the bye would have been huge for them.
Yeah. Oh, I mean that was a make or break for them.
Not saying that like anybody would have came back, but just the rest of it
Right.
to be so huge with a long NFL season now. All right, back to the playoffs. We looked at San Francisco, Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so now we go Sunday night. LA Chargers and New England Patriots. What do you think? What's your gut reaction to this game?
I'm going to reluctantly take the Patriots. I just think I
Hmm.
just don't know if Drake May's ready to get a playoff win, but look, he's at home. Um, I, and I just thought the Chargers just looked very lackluster uh, today. So I
No
don't
starters
know.
today, though. I mean, don't forget that. No starters played for the Chargers today.
Right. So yeah, that's true. So I just see I see the Patriots holding serve.
Okay, just holding served. I think that's a good assessment. Now that the whole season is over and we could properly weigh the schedules, Patriots had the easiest schedule in the league
Yeah.
against team under 500. So all the Patriots haters out there, this is a pretty good argument to make is the schedule that the Pats had. And then while we're on the subject, talking MVP, are you like me where it's a two-man race at this point, Matt Stafford versus Drake May? Or do you think there's a
Yeah.
third candidate in there? And if so,
No,
who do you think's got it?
I think it's going to be between Bo. I'm going to give the edge to. I just think the story of Matt Stafford at this point in his career. I think that's going to just be the I guess the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and today he had a good game where he played himself out of the race that week against Atlanta where he was
Yeah.
terrible. And he got a good one to go out on. So Stafford versus Drake May, give it to the veteran
Yeah,
over
man.
a second year guy who had an
Yeah.
easy schedule, you're saying. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Sunday night. That's the game we're going to go on after for the Sunday night talk. But always forget this Monday night playoff game. That's going to be
Yeah.
Houston, Texas at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday night in Pittsburgh. My instant thoughts are what's the weather going to be like? And then, secondly, Pittsburgh offensive line Aaron Rodgers, you better be ready. This Houston Texans defense is the belle of the ball for the last month in the NFL. It's all we've talked about is how good is the Houston Texans defense. They had a pretty good game today against a feisty team of second stringers with the Colts, and yet they're just like, hey, let's just play. Let's just have a great game and let's play. And they win that game and they go into Pittsburgh. So gut reaction, Houston Texans at Pittsburgh Steelers, Monday night playoff.
I want to go with a better defense in this case. I want to go with it's going to be a defensive battle. Uh, they just Stroud just doesn't need to make the bad mistake. Just play smart football. Let your defense win this game for you.
You
Texans.
like the Texans on the road. All right. Of all those teams, and we're just talking the wild card teams, I'm taking out the teams with the buys. Who is the most overrated of these playoff teams?
The most overrated.
Yeah, it was big potential to disappoint us.
I'm gonna say because I think the Patriots or the Broncos are gonna eventually demonstrate that look, they benefited from a real easy season.
Oh,
So
so you're kind of disappointed in that they had an easy schedule on their end.
I will take the Bills to beat either of those two teams.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Potential disappointment for me. Um, to me, it's between the Bears and the Jaguars. We got a history with the Jaguars, and the Bears don't usually start playing football till about fourth quarter. So I can see disappointment there as well. So any teams we're sleeping on in this wild card weekend? Should we be looking at a certain team with a little bit more interest?
I think you just got to watch the Bills. I think you really got to watch the Bills with
Hmm.
no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. This is Josh Allen's time to stake his claim to the AFC crown.
Okay, that's a good one. Do you see the Bills wore their like '90s Bills uniforms
I
today?
loved it. I loved it, Pat.
Unbelievable. I got a thought on when it comes to innovation of the week about uniforms. I feel we might be sleeping on Green Bay. We haven't seen Jordan Love for a couple weeks. If they play like we've seen Green Bay play, they get hot at just the right time. We might be talking about Green Bay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna put a little pin in that one. A little pin in that one. So okay, that was our weekend for the playoffs coming up. I told you this was coming, and I got mine. It's time for the annual first ever NFL playoff team comps. Yes, thank you. And you get the opportunity to compare your team to anything you want. And I decided to compare my playoff teams to 90s and 2000s actresses. I'm going to give each one a
Okay.
comparison. I got them all down right here. So let's start with the 7 seeds. We got the Green Bay Packers. I got their 90s actress comp, Amanda Peet. Amanda Peet, like when you think Amanda Peet and when you think the Green Bay Packers, you kind of think, I think she was in good in that one thing that I don't remember. That's
Right.
my
Okay. I see.
Packers.
I
Are
see
like,
where,
I
I
think
see where
they're
you're going with this.
good. I think they're good. I don't know when they were good. And I think that's Amanda Peet. Wasn't she in that one movie and it was good? I can't remember. All right. Other 7 seed, Los Angeles Chargers. I went with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Not a
Huh.
prime time, not prime time ready, but great at 6-7 Central.
Okay.
All right. You see where I'm going with those Chargers?
I see where you're going with those Chargers.
All right. You can jump in on any of these you want as well. All right. 6 seeds.
I'm fascinated by this. Let's go. Keep going, Pat.
Okay. 6 seeds. Buffalo Bills. I got Winona Ryder. Very high approval rating. Had some bumps along the road, but overall, I think America wants the Bills and Winona Ryder to succeed.
Okay. I,
So I
I
went
like
Winona
that.
Ryder for the Bills. Other 6 seed, the Los Angeles Rams.
No,
I
yeah.
went with Queen Latifah.
No.
Just pure comfort zone with the Rams. You're just like, you see Queen Latifah like in a movie and you're like, oh, yeah, I like her. All right.
Okay.
I'll give this movie with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah a shot. Oh, look at that. I'm watching Sphere. Queen Latifah's in this. Oh, all right. Not bad. Not bad. Let's give it a watch. So I went that for the Rams. Now we get into the 5 seeds. Houston Texans. My
Okay.
team comp, Kate Winslet. I went with Houston Texans and Kate Winslet, both very professional, a lot of beauty, there's a lot of brains, and exclusively prestige projects with the Houston
Okay.
Texans and Kate Winslet.
I like
So a
that.
little
Okay.
bit,
I'm
maybe a
with
little
you.
more art house. Art house. Think of it that way. All right. Your San Francisco 49ers, 5
Oh, I want
seed.
to hear this. I
My
want to hear
actress
this.
comp, Alicia Silverstone.
Huh.
I went with Alicia Silverstone as the San Francisco 49ers because in the right setting, They can really be great, but don't expect any greatness outside of their zone. You know, you put an Alicia Silverstone in Clueless, unbelievable movie, great 90 minutes of film. Put San Francisco 49ers against the Carolina Panthers, unbelievable, great offense. But if you put Alicia Silverstone in The English Patient, we're like, what the hell is this? This is not working for me. All right, you with me so far? Do you like that comparison? Do you like Alicia Silverstone for the 49ers?
Yeah, I do. I actually do.
Okay, all right. On to the 4 seeds, Carolina Panthers. I went with Julia Stiles. Done some interesting stuff. Nice things in the past. Still waiting to see it. Still waiting to see what I'm actually, what my actual thoughts are of this person or this team. And the other number 4 seed, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Minnie Driver. I feel like Minnie Driver was in our lives for a decade and we still couldn't figure out if she was good at acting, she was attractive, what nationality she was. We're not sure. So I went Pittsburgh Steelers and Minnie Driver. I'm not sure. All right. On to the 3 seeds, Jacksonville Jaguars, Lindsay Lohan. Now, we got a history of bad behavior with this team and this person, but
There has been
overall,
some bad behavior.
has put together a good year. She's in some good Target commercials. Freakier Friday was kind of funny. Having a good year. Other 3 seed, the Philadelphia Eagles. I went with Courtney Love. And I just wrote potential disaster zone.
Okay.
Like I could see the Eagles getting 75 yards of total offense in their wild card game. I totally could.
I don't think you're out of pocket here.
Okay. All right. Courtney Love, disaster zone. Now we're on to the 2 seeds. New England Patriots. I went with Cameron Diaz. A young Cameron Diaz. Young, fresh, someone we knew was going to be in our lives for a long time after movies like The Mask and Something About Mary. She's in My Best Friend's Wedding. Always a delight. And that's the New England Patriots this year. All right. Other number 2 seed. You liking this? All right. Chicago Bears. I went with Anne Hathaway. A lot of talent, a lot of potential, but I wouldn't be surprised if they broke my heart.
No, absolutely.
You know, Anne Hathaway seems like she could, one of those girls that could act really nice to you and then forget your name 2 seconds later.
Yep.
That's my Bears. It's my Bears this year. All right. And the number 1 seeds, we got the Seattle Seahawks. I went with Courtney Cox. Just look at the resume of Courtney Cox. She had the Bruce Springsteen video, Masters of the Universe, Friends, Desperate Housewives, Scream. Just very reliable.
Okay.
She goes on screen, you know she's going to deliver, and I think that's the Seahawks this year. So reliable. And then last number 1 seed, the Denver Broncos. Sharon Stone.
Oh, that's a strong number 1.
I went with Sharon Stone as the Denver Broncos because you look at the Denver Broncos, much like you look at Sharon Stone in the 90s, and you're like, I know there's some red flags here, but I might be willing to throw my life away for this team and this woman. That's the quality they seem to have. It's like, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going down with the ship on this one. I'm like Michael Douglas in Basic Instinct. I know this is a bad idea, but I'm going to go inside the house for a few minutes.
Right. I'm with you on that, Pat.
Yeah, all right. Any actresses I left out? Anybody from the 90s or 2000s you might say like, hey, this was a name in those days that, you know, could get a team or so, or any swap there? Any of you feel I missed?
That was a pretty extensive list. I'll be thinking about this as I'm watching the games on the weekend to see if it lived up to the billing.
Yeah, be thinking. It's like, does Alicia Silverstone actually match the 49ers? Is Kate Winslet the Houston Texans? That's when you need to be thinking about people. What other show's going to give you this type of content? Nobody, dang it. All right, let's run through our thoughts of the games in a week 18. That was pretty exciting. We started on Saturday, wrapped it up on Sunday, and Week 18 is very interesting because there's a lot of playoff seeding, but there's also a lot of teams playing for draft picks. So we don't really know who's playing to win, who's playing to lose. It's a hard week to bet on. I won one bet and lost two this weekend. And I found it real difficult to actually find out who was number one playing and who had things to play for. So starting with the early game, New Orleans Saints at Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta wins and then abruptly fires their head coach right after the game. Did you have him on your list of the 11 coaches in the hot seat?
I had him that it was warm.
Oh, wait. I got the list here. Yep, you had it. You had Atlanta on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you already got that one right. Nobody else fired as of Sunday night. Okay, where are you on Tyler Shuck?
I hear Stefanski is as good as gone in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Got from several Raiders sources that Pete Carroll's going to be a one and done as well. All right, hey, are you set on Tyler Shuck as the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't be offended by it.
If he had won this game, I think we might be a little more sure of ourselves, but given what he had to play with and they strung together a few wins, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't have heartburn.
This was actually a good game. New Orleans 17, Atlanta 19. I thought it was great that during the game, because if Atlanta had won, that would have put Carolina in the playoffs. I thought it was good that the broadcast made an effort to seek out Carolina fans in the stands so they could watch, so they could get them cheering when Atlanta actually won the game and they could see them jumping up and down. I was like, this is what's great about Week 18 is the sub-storylines within these games. Like if this happens and this.
Only Week 18.
Loved it. I really love Week 18 for that. All right, next game, Cleveland at Cincinnati. This was the game that I was just specifically watching Joe Burrow's body language. Does he want to be there? Is he playing hard?
We're not talking about the non-playoff games. These guys.
Well, this is the reason why I say I'm just watching his body language. Does he want to be there?
He doesn't want to be there. He wants out. Myles Garrett got a record, but I think he probably regrets staying in Cleveland now.
Did you see the Cincinnati coach was pissed off that they stopped the game for Myles Garrett's record so they could carry him around? He was like, Nobody told me we're stopping the game.
Yeah.
What are we stopping the game for? I sent Joe Burrow out there, run a play. I thought that was pretty good. Shots of Myles Garrett's mom in the stands. They were going to cheer him on for the sack. Pretty cool. Right. I didn't get a lot from Joe Burrow's body language, but I still think he wants a change of scenery. Next game, Green Bay at Minnesota. Green Bay played absolutely nobody. I don't think they even played their second stringers.
No, but I don't like the way they kind of limped into the playoffs.
Definitely the definition of limping into the playoffs. And then J.J. McCarthy had a weird injury in the middle of this game that did not sit well with me. That whole Minnesota end of the season did not sit well with me, even though they actually won this game. That's a weird one. When you got a home Week 18 game and you're not going to make the playoffs, it's just a weird vibe in the stadium.
Right.
It's one of those games like we got to have a giveaway. It's Jersey giveaway day for people to come to the game or something. Then next game, Dallas at the New York Giants. I think I watched all of 45 seconds of this game. Didn't like it one bit. Joe Milton started the second half for Dallas. I think Daryl Johnson ran out of things to talk about in this game.
I would not have played Jackson Dart.
Oh, really? You would have sat him, huh?
I would have sat him.
I don't think that's a bad idea. Blue tent Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
He just does running QB runs now. I think he just goes straight to the tent now. He's like, hey, check me out real quick.
Yeah.
I took a hit. Next game, Tennessee at Jacksonville. There was a 69-yard field goal in this game.
Yeah.
At the end of the first half, Cam Ward got injured in this game. Jacksonville rolled Tennessee. My only thoughts on the 69-yard kick. So they had the ball at whatever yard line. You hike the ball about 7 yards back. Why doesn't the holder just go position himself another yard back so it could be 70? Why do you have to be 7 yards back? He should have like lined up so it could be a record. Why not?
No faith in his kicker's leg, buddy.
What do you mean faith? He made a 69-yard kick.
Well, I'm saying he didn't want to miss it from 70.
Why not? He's made a 70 before in the preseason. He made one too. But he already had a 68 earlier in the year. This was the end of the first half.
We don't know what weather conditions this guy liked.
It's 1 yard though. Why not try for the record instead of a long kick that isn't the record? That's what I'm saying. Why not go for it?
We'll never know.
No, we won't. All right, good contribution there. Next game. Next game. Indianapolis at Houston. Riley Leonard starts at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Phil Rivers still on the sidelines.
Didn't have a bad game, Pat. Didn't have a
really
bad
good
game. Riley Leonard.
Really good. Throwing his parents in the stands too. He had a great
giving touchdown balls to his family. So hopefully it's developing maybe under Daniel Jones. You could have something. I don't expect Philip Rivers to come back, but maybe a year under Daniel Jones, learning how to prepare, that could benefit Riley Leonard, and maybe they have a bona fide backup quarterback.
For a team whose second half of the season really went in the shitter, somehow they're ending the season thinking like, yeah, all right, we did a few things here at the end. Our quarterback went down. We hired Philip Rivers for 3 weeks. This Riley Leonard guy was all right in that game. Somehow I don't think they're feeling that bad about themselves.
Right.
Even though they went from first place, and they're mostly second teamers for Houston in the second half. And yet they're playing like it's a playoff game. I think that bodes well for Houston. Like they are locked in right now.
I agree.
All right, next game. Now we're into the late games. New York Jets at Buffalo. I already said it, 90s Buffalo uniforms. They brought Steve Tasker into the broadcasting booth, and he was in the booth for like 10 minutes just reminiscing, talking about snow games and the comeback game. For a blowout, I thought they did the right thing. Like, let's get some old timers there talking nostalgia. Pretty fun. Buffalo blew them out, though. That was pretty great. I had money on this game, and I won. So I was happy about that, too.
Good for you.
Buffalo in, great day at the state. Also, I think that was the last game ever in that stadium.
Yeah, that
was a big deal.
Their farewell.
The send-off. All right, Detroit at Chicago. We already talked about it. The Bears don't like to play until the fourth quarter.
Real quick, on a quick note, on that the Jets game, did they get that distinction that they did? The first team, I think, maybe since the stat was ever taken, not to have.
I have it in my cringe. Yeah, I have it in my cringeworthy award.
Wow,
first team to ever record no interceptions. Josh Allen or Mitch Trubisky should have gave him one just to get the record, like Brett Favre gave Warren Sapp or Brett Favre gave whoever a Strahan that sack. Trubisky should have thrown one up just so the Jets didn't have that award. All right, Detroit at Chicago. I was really disappointed in the Bears for 3/4 of this game. I know you already locked up the 2 seed, but this is a game at home. Week 18, and Detroit was just having their way with you all game long. I didn't like what I saw from the Bears in this game. I know they came back and tied it, but I still didn't like what I saw from the Bears. Did you?
No, it was a rough. Another team that when you think about it, they losing the shootout against San Francisco, then this performance lackluster. So they've also limped into the playoffs.
I agree with that. And it's negating somewhat that like golf was just carving them up, and these weren't second teamers. Like Detroit, where was this all year?
Yep.
So there was that left a bitter taste in my mouth. And then we had Chargers at Denver. Chargers decided to sit their starters. Now they could have, if they won this game, they would have got a higher seed. They didn't really care. So they sat their starters. Denver wins 19-3. Kind of a nothing game, nothing on the line. Chargers had given up on winning it. Denver didn't need it. Cool uniforms by Denver. That was about it. Then we go to the playing for next year game of the season. I've heard it called the Toilet Bowl, the Tank for a Draft Pick Bowl. KC at Las Vegas.
Well,
for the Raiders, it's the quest for Mendoza.
With the Giants winning in the morning, the Raiders didn't need the win.
Or the loss.
They need the loss. So but they got the number one pick. I do think
right now we have these reverse playoff scenarios.
Yeah,
that was the greatest feeling because like the Giants won. They're like, all right, we got the number one seed. Now we can actually root for the team to win. Max Crosby's actually on the sideline in this game. It's possible.
I think obviously I think there's no Pete Carroll coming back. I think it's a foregone conclusion. They're going to be drafting a quarterback. They're going to have a new coach. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a top to bottom thing, and I could see Tom Brady does not want this to fail. I think he looks at this as his legacy, and they're gonna try hard.
It's a unique opportunity. Now it's like, listen, plan A didn't work. We got a coach that thought was better. Wrong. We got a QB that thought was better. Wrong. We still have Crosby, we still have Bowers. Right. And now we got the number one pick. Like, let's look at this as an opportunity. On the flip side, this was Travis Kelce's potentially last game ever. You touched on it. I had a lot of Raiders sources saying that this was going to be Carroll's last game. He's either they're going to force him to retire essentially or resign. We had Kenny Pickett start the game. Then we have Aiden O'Connell come in for the game. And the Raiders win on a 60-yard kick, 14-12. Pretty fun way for the Raiders to finish their very disappointing season, beat a division rival, even though they were on like their fourth string quarterback of it. So the season comes to a merciful end when it comes to the Raiders. Thank God. Arizona at the LA Rams. We already talked about Stanford MVP game. You seem to think so. I seem to think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Get the win at home, 37-20. Miami at New England. New England killed Miami. Drake May MVP.
Maybe.
We already debated about that. And now we're having this little second guessings on New England due to the scheduling stuff. So, little half question mark on the Patriots moving forward.
Yep.
Very curious how that's going to go. And then the second game that I watched all of 45 seconds ago, Washington at Philly. Two teams I thoroughly did not enjoy watching all season long.
No.
I didn't like any of these teams. Was there anything redeeming about either of these teams all year?
Both seem to underperform.
Definitely. And Philly's the defending champion. And like these guys beat somebody last year? I don't get it.
Right.
Didn't like it one bit. So Washington wins 24-17. That was week 18 in the NFL, a week that I really, really liked. And then we capped it off with Sunday night, which was an awesome game for the division. Great flex by NBC to have that be the finishing game. So that leads us to the last round of awards for the regular season. Let's top it off. This is exciting because I got some good ones this week, Omar. By the way, why the Denver hat today? Did you already explain that?
No, I just grabbed it before the show started.
Okay, so you're not a secret Denver fan.
Keep going.
Or you're not.
I'm gonna grab a drink, but keep going.
Okay, I thought.
No,
I thought maybe you will have.
I grabbed it before the show started.
All right, Omar's refilling his drink. I was worried that maybe you lost a fantasy football bet or something. And also, as a San Francisco fan, I don't know why you'd wear a hat of a team you beat in the Super Bowl a long time ago. Or maybe you're just trying to stick it to them. Like, yeah, you're the number one seed, but don't forget, we kicked your ass a long time ago. I know what your motivations are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk awards. Awards, everybody. We do it every week. And we started off with most memorable moment. All right, I got Saturday football games atmosphere. Was really good this week. We had Carolina and Tampa Bay had to decide something in the rain. And then we had that Seattle-San Francisco game, which just a juggernaut of a matchup. It turned out to be something else, but just the energy was great Saturday night. What'd you have for most memorable moment of Week 18?
Most memorable moment, I think definitely Aaron Rodgers getting one last, gets at least one more game if this wasn't his last game of his career. So I think that's gonna be my most memorable moment.
Have you flipped on Aaron Rodgers, or you still not like him?
It's not. I just don't like the whole Steelers operation right now.
Oh, so it's a Steelers thing you don't like?
No, well, I just don't think they're positioned for a deep playoff run.
Okay, what about Rodgers though? Because you used to not like him.
No, I still don't like him. He's
still
a maniac. He's nuts, but
still don't like. Okay. All right, now we get into cringeworthy moment of the week. I got 2 nominees. I got J.J. McCarthy's weird high fives. Did you see he injured his throwing arm? So he was doing the thing where like the arm was dangling, so he's giving high fives with his non-arm. That looked really awkward and sad. And of course, I had the stat that the Jets went the whole season without intercepting a single pass. It seems like something my high school football team would achieve. But those were pretty cringeworthy moments in my mind. What do you got? Any additions?
I got during his press conference at the end, post-game press conference, Joe Burrow's just putting his hands through his hair. He's just flipping his hair back, and what was he? I didn't know what he was doing with his hair. He just couldn't stop running his fingers through his own hair.
Wow, what do you think that's about? Do you think he's upset with media? He's angry at the season, organization? Do you think he's somewhere else next year?
Well, I think he was somewhere else this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean. Do you think he's on another team?
Yeah, he's on another team next year.
You do think so? Okay, I could see them patching it up.
I think if you're Cincinnati, he passes physicals, and you get a stockpile of draft picks for him.
I could also see them patching it up. Like after like a month of cooling down, maybe they have a come to Jesus moment.
He's still young enough that he can take a team and still be that quarterback, to still be the franchise quarterback on another team and help them, sustain multiple years of success.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we forget like so easily. Joe Burrow took this team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We forget that he was awesome that year. And it's still in there. I'm with you. It's still in there. Next award. Best Innovation Award. I got 2 nominees. One comes from the Colts-Houston game. Did you see the Colts ran a fake punt on like 4th and 5? They get it, and they leave the punt team out there, and they run another fake punt, 2 fake punts in a row, one of them on first down, and it messed up Houston so much they jumped off sides, so they got a penalty. So how about a punt formation on 2 straight plays for an innovation? And secondly, but this is the one I'm most proud of, how about we make Week 18 Throwback Week?
No, I kind of like that.
Since every single game is a division game, why don't we do throwback uniforms for the whole league? And we can do Denver did it, Chargers could have done it, Bills did it, Philly did it. Why not we make Week 18 is officially Throwback Week? Old uniforms, division rivals against each other, playoffs on the line, draft picks on the line. Let's make it a thing. We already have Salute to Service, Crucial Catch, Breast Cancer Awareness, Chinese New Year Day. Let's have Throwback Week, and that's Week 18. What do you think?
I love that idea, Pat. Let's do it.
And how about the uniforms? You like the throwbacks for everybody?
I do.
On Week 18. Would have saved your team wearing those ridiculous black uniforms. Just could have went straight scarlet and gold.
Take it easy.
I don't like it. I don't like when teams just make a black uniform. It upsets me. They should throw those in the trash. Just because, I mean, they had a bad game in them. That's bad mojo on those uniforms.
There was.
Yeah. All right. What do you got? Best innovation for
I
week
paid
18.
attention, Pat. I'm on my NFL nostalgia again. I've been doing some, listening and reading on some old stories, and I just love the NFL innovation they made on camera, positions of the camera,
Mm.
just the angles we get to see of gameplay. It is something to marvel.
Yeah. We really take for granted the insight that we get on games these days because if you're ever curious, just go on YouTube and watch a game from
Yeah.
10 years ago. Not even that long, 10 years ago. We didn't get audio of Aaron Rodgers yelling green 18 and we didn't get
No.
we didn't get the
And
angles.
tell me another sport I think that does that. Like that comes even close to that experience.
Yeah, there's so much to capture in football in such a short amount of time, too. Like with baseball is so boring and borderline not even a sport that you can capture everything in baseball. Basketball, I like when they do the audio of the coaches in the huddle is
I think
cool.
with baseball, there's so many unwritten rules, that sometimes when like managers are getting upset at players from the other team, it's like, why is he upset? And it's like there's like some reason
Mhm.
behind it.
Yeah, that's true. We need a lot of explanation in baseball. It's yeah, we're gonna take for we're like spoiled NFL fans because we just get so much access to everything. And then live with like a day like today, the playoff picture is kind of in your face all day long. Like there's been years past where I was like, wait, what happens if Atlanta wins and this lose? I don't think I did that too much today. I think I knew all the scenarios for the most part. They were all in my head. They were all in the screen. They were talked about all game long. It wasn't that hard to follow where I know in years past, I got confused pretty easily. I was like, wait, is this a meaningless game? No, because Carolina, blah, blah, blah. Were there any meaningless games today? I don't think there was. Maybe KC Vegas, but draft pick, I guess.
Nah, there were some that just didn't make any difference. But anyway,
Right. Yeah. As far as playoffs, KC Vegas made no difference. Dallas Giants there was a few in there. Innovation. You went with the angles. That's pretty good. You know what I do think is lacking, and it's got to change soon, I would think, is we really need that all 22 view more regularly of the whole field because there was a lot of times in this Pittsburgh-Baltimore game where Chris Collinsworth is calling the play before it happens. When like that play to Flowers happens, he's like, they did it again. But the ball's in the air and we don't know he's throwing it to yet because we can't see the receiver. I think we need a wider angle to see all the players or at least the option. At least the option on Peacock, like click for all 22 view or something because Collinsworth is ahead of the play when a lot of this happens. And also like, I do get bored with the same view all the time. I will be like, hey, let's check out something different. See what it looks like. So I'm with you. The angles are great, and we could actually stand to add to it, improve it some. Mm-hmm. It would look like we're watching Madden. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, next award, Hot Take Award. I got a good one I'm willing to put money on.
Okay.
Next year, Phillip Rivers is a coach in the NFL. He's going to be someone's quarterback coach, assistant offensive coordinator. He's going to be a coach next year is my hot take. And this hot take is bleeding into an award later as well. What do you think? Phillip Rivers, coach in the NFL next year?
I could see it happening. I could definitely see it happening. He demonstrated he was a good teammate for his brief stint in Indianapolis.
Phillip Rivers had a great month. Started 3 games and then got to pass the torch to Riley Leonard. And he's still on the sideline coaching him up. It's like, Phil Rivers, we don't need you anymore. Yeah, I'll be there. Well, you're not going to play. What time's the game? Like, Phillip Rivers is one of those guys, just ride or die. There's a game, I'm going to it. We're flipping a coin, I'm locked in. Unbelievable, Phillip Rivers' competitiveness. All right, Hot Take Award for Week 18.
I wanted to focus on teams that are out of the playoff race this year. So here's my hot
Oh.
take. The New Orleans Saints will be in the playoffs next year.
Oh, wow. You're like, geez, 8 months in the making hot take,
There you go.
or 6 months. New Orleans. What do you like about New Orleans?
I think a young nucleus, and I think they are gonna again. They have a potential to have the offensive rookie player of the year. We'll see what happens.
Not bad. All right. Next award, Casting Couch Award. This is the one that I seem to have to talk you into the most every single week. So let me try again. Casting Couch Award, a sitcom about Philip Rivers and Carly Ursay sharing an office, making team deals, advertising deals, acquiring players. It could be like an Odd Couple slash Hometown Sensibility versus High Society, Brains versus Brawn type of comedy. Don't you think that could be funny? Philip Rivers is kind of like for old school. Carly Ursay is like had a silver spoon in her mouth her whole life, and they clash, and they have to run an NFL team.
I love that idea, Patrick. I want to second you on that one.
And like they could have like the annual NFL or New Indianapolis Colts sponsors dinner, and Carly Ursay's like in a nice dinner gown, and Philip Rivers shows up in jeans and a polo shirt. It could be like that kind of comedy. And I got a few titles for you too.
Let's hear it.
All right. This one, first title, Had My Fill.
I like that
Get
one.
it? Get it? Okay. Next title, The Owner's Daughter.
Okay.
Okay. Rivers Wild.
That sounds like an adult film.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, Repeat the Down.
Okay.
All right. Also, like I was having a little flashback of like maybe this could be a TV show like the show Arliss.
I like that.
Where it's about sports, a lot of cameos, some comedy in there.
It's an even better idea.
And then like at some point, Philip Rivers talks to the camera. He could break the fourth wall and talk to the audience. And sometimes Carly Ursay talks to the camera. I think this would be really, really funny. Really good potential there. Yeah. What do you what was your favorite title? Did you like Had My Fill?
I like Had My Fill.
Had My Fill. Okay.
You can't lose on that one.
Yeah, all right. I'll pitch it. Sounds like this would be an NBC show. It would give like a 5-episode run. See if it scores with the demographic. All right, what do you got? Casting Couch Award for week 18.
I'm fried. I didn't really give this one much of an award. We'll go with I Had My Fill.
Okay. Hey, why are you wearing the Turkey Trot shirt today?
I was a little just I was down on my Niners, so I had to put my 49er stuff away.
So you're seriously down on this team. Like, what is your mindset, confidence level? Like, if you were an NFL fan of the Niners, which you are, is it time for therapy? Do you need like a phone call from another Niners fan? Do you need to sleep on it? What's going on?
It's just the defense, Pat. We don't have a defense.
You're mad at the defense specifically.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to throw in best innovation I just thought of. What about like WebMD for NFL fans, for all the ones whose teams lost each week? Like you're like, all right, your team lost. Your defense is terrible. Your quarterback went down. Feeling depressed? Call WebMD. And it's another NFL fan to kind of talk you down after a bad week. I think that will work.
Yeah, that could be it.
We could have psychological specialists who also know a lot about NFL. And be like, hey, well, remember that one year the Raiders, 1988, they had that bad one against Denver, and you'd be like, oh, that's true. That's true. I feel so bad. Oh, yeah. We had Antonio Brown as our coach.
No, that was bad.
And somehow we put 6 wins together. Like, that's true. That's a good idea. Like, I think you need to call someone, Omar. You need to call another 49er fan, and they can tell you, like, hey, man, let's not forget that one year. And then you won't feel so bad. Or maybe we'll just prescribe you medication.
Right.
All right. Casting Couch Award. On to best quote of week 18. I got one from the first half of Pittsburgh, Baltimore, when Aaron Rodgers missed that open receiver crossing against the field by like 5 yards over his head. Chris Collinsworth just goes, "That's terrible." He was pissed, Chris Collinsworth. He was so mad at Aaron Rodgers. And then the very next play was that weird run that Aaron Rodgers had. So I got "that's terrible" from Chris Collinsworth on the missed connection.
I'm going to go Tom Brady throwing his MVP vote to Matt Stafford over the.
Did he say he voted for Matt Stafford?
He doesn't have a vote, but that's who that was his endorsement for MVP.
Oh, really? Matt Stafford gets his vote. Tom Brady. That's pretty good. All right, and we agree Stafford is going to get the MVP. All right, so let's go on to the next award, the Play Call Award for the week. I'm almost hesitant to say this because you're going to get upset. But that Seattle conversion that was 3rd and 17.
Oh,
and was like, "Oh, Niners, we finally got you 3rd and long." And I don't know if it was a play call or a hustle play or a dumb missed tackle, but they converted it. And then just the shot of John Lynch in the booth going, "God damn it!"
He lost it.
Oh, my God.
He lost it. It is just, yeah, you're right. That play call for the Seahawks, that's the play call of the year when it's just everything went the right way on that play for the Seahawks. That's the one, Pat.
Yeah, it truly flipped the game. And John Lynch's reaction was just so guttural. Yeah. It was like we've all uttered an angry, frustrated, devastated "God damn it" in our lives. Like whether it's been in traffic, sports, reading angry emails or texts, like the angry "God damn it." It might be the first round Hall of Famer for curse words.
I agree.
Because it's 2 words. You have to really ramp up to say it. And it's very percussive, too, because you got the damn it. Damn it! All right, what do you got? Best play call.
No, that's the one, Pat. I'm with you on that.
You're falling on your own sword? You're picking a play call?
That was the play call of the year for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was big. And in last award, who won the week? I got 2 nominees. You want to hear them or do you want to start?
I'm going to go with Mike Tomlin, winning the division. I think it may be his last year in Pittsburgh. I think they may go in a different direction.
You've been calling for a Tomlin regime change for a few weeks now.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I figure let's do it sooner rather than later. But to go out winning the division, hell, that's big ups.
Gosh, I don't see it with Tomlin. I just think it's his job until he resigns. I just think he's too much of a legacy.
We'll see.
All right, let me recap the listening audience of all your teams that you think is going to fire their head coach. You got Miami, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee, Las Vegas, New York Giants, Arizona, Atlanta, which you're right on, and Tampa Bay. All right, so we keep an eye on that. We could see some of this list being checked off as early as tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, my who won the week. I got 2 nominees. Number 1, Riley Leonard won the week.
Yeah.
Family, touchdown pass, no pressure. How about the Raiders won the week?
Right, they get the number 1 pick. I was just about to say they're going
to get the number 1 pick. Give their fans a win to go out on. Goodbye, Geno Smith. We can say goodbye to Geno Smith finally.
It's things looking up, Pat.
Yep. I have a thought on the Raiders and Mendoza, Fernando Mendoza. Tell me if this is possible, crazy, or completely doable. Why don't we hire the Indiana Hoosiers head coach too?
Cignetti, I like it.
Why don't we take Cignetti, and why don't we just try and take as many players from that Indiana team as possible? And just let's just have you have an NFL team, and you can pick and choose some pros after that. But what he has done with, number one, I think he had like the rank 50-something recruiting class going into the season. And he has a team that is like, looks like the best team in the college football world against other NIL teams that can offer more, bigger programs, better talent. And he's like, I'm just going to coach the hell out of this team and we're going to be number one. Can we just take everything of Indiana and bring them to Vegas?
You may need a complete culture change. I think I like it, Pat. You should definitely be pulling for that.
Yeah, and Cignetti just looks like a hard ass. I'm watching the Rose Bowl or whatever bowl they're in, and I think they were up like 13-0 or something, and they get a first down, and he's still pissed off. He's like mad at something. Guy does not let up. That's what we need. We need some hard asses. So that's that might be even / hard take. Let's just take the whole Indiana, or let's just pay off Vegas, Tom Brady, Mark Davis, pay off Indiana. Open a library, a new wing, whatever it takes. Let's take them all. Let's back up. I like it. Yeah, and let's just see how that goes. Because every year we always ask, like, could the best college team beat the worst NFL team? Maybe it's time to find out.
Like that.
God, the Raiders. I'm so glad it's over. It was a rough year. Really rough. The worst part is we all thought it was going to be so much better than the year before.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, that was week 18. Are you sad the regular season is over? Or are you just keeping the momentum going for the playoffs?
On to the playoffs. Let's
okay. So
it's the NFL's second season. Let's go.
Okay. So you're not completely in the dumps.
No.
About the Niners yet. Are you going to be in the dumps if they lose to Philadelphia? Or are you going to sit here and go like, I told you so?
No, I'm not. Again, I think they've overperformed.
Okay. Well, next week, be ready because we're going to do some more remaining playoff team comps.
All right.
We're going to change the category. So it's not just going to be 90s and 2000s actresses. It's going to be 2010s actresses. Oh, and a little surprise for you next week as well coming your way. So get ready for that.
I like it.
All right, everybody. That was the Sunday Night Talk for Week 18. Give our show a like. Give it a subscribe. We're going to be here all through the playoffs. Omar, maybe attending playoff games. We don't know. You hinted at it last week.
I don't think so now. Now with the
Niners. You don't think it's up? Okay.
It's out.
So you're back to Melancholy Carmona.
Melancholy Carmona.
All right. Well, we're still going to do the show. We might be live. We might not. We'll figure it out. For me, Patrick Ramirez, for Omar Carmona, for the Sunday Night Talk. On to the playoffs, everybody. Playoffs.
Good night, all. Good night. Play all.